Okay, so most of you have probably heard of Betjet or seen it. We're just going to go and have a look at some of the stuff that you can do with it. And I'm not sure what time the racing starts today. It's probably going to start with some dogs. Looks like around 1:15. So we'll go and do some dogs, have a look at some football, and just show you a bit of the basic stuff. So really quickly, just having a look around the front page there. That's just all the statistics showing you any issues with Betfair, which there's none at the moment, so that's good. When you first get it, go into your settings, get everything set up. I'll do separate webinars on how all this works. For today, I'll presume that you know how it works and that you have got it all set up. So if you've got any questions, just open the chat box up in Zoom and you'll be able to pop your questions in there, and as soon as I can get to them, I will. So we'll go and just have a look at some greyhounds and go and have a look. We've got a handicap race coming up here. So we'll go and have a look at this one at Nottingham. Just having a bit of a look around the grid. What you've got up here is you've got 4 tools: tick, offset, stop, loss, fill or kill, stop entry. So I'll go and show you all of them. You've got your back and lay keys, so back any stake and lay any stake. They're more for in-running trading, so you're not going to be needing them in the greyhound markets. You've got a race meter over here, which again in the greyhound markets we won't use. A lot of the stuff in Betjet is set up for in-running trading. That's what it was designed for, and everything else you can do with it is just a bonus. You can trade cricket, football, tennis, greyhounds, anything really, but a lot of the stuff in it is set up for in running. One of the cool things with greyhounds is a lot of the money comes in the last 30 seconds. So you've got a cool little meter here that says total and 10 seconds next to it. You can click on total and gives you an interval. So you can see in the last 10 seconds, £800 come in on this 5, and you can change that to 20, 30, 40, 50 or 60. So I'll just change it there for the last minute. £1,700 come in on this 5 and 900 on the 2. There was a bit more a minute ago. You can see all the money's coming. There's not much for the 4 or the 3 or the 1. So it's all about 2 of these dogs here. So if we go and have a look at a ladder first up, you can see down the bottom, if you go and have your caps lock on and you push G, you can get the graphs for all of them. You can see this one's drifting significantly, the 1. See how much money's been matched for it there. $4,000 matched on this 2 dog and 7,000, and they're backing it heavily. Now the money's coming late. You can see here for this 5 dog. So if you're just going purely off form, if that's all you were going off, you'd be looking at, or not, sorry, if you're going not off form, if you're going purely off the betting, like 100% off the betting, you'd be looking at laying the 1 or the 6 here. Just, you see the big drift. They've had a bit of backing for the 5, a little bit for the 4. The 2's been fairly flat, but there's lots of money on it. And you can see the late money. If you want more information on late money, you can hit I and you can still see where the money's coming. So 400 there, 200 there, last 10 seconds. So it's mostly coming for this favourite, and that's off now. So we'll go and do another race with a bit more time. Greyhounds is funny because you don't have a whole lot of time to trade. If you go and have a look at this race, there's 2 minutes out and there's only been £1,000 matched on the race. There's only 2.5 minutes to go. So you get some opportunities with some gaps. So what I'm going to do in this one is I'm going to go and change my tick offset from 3 to 1, and I'm going to go and use that. So when you put your tick offset in settings, I normally have it set on 3. You don't need to go in here and change it every time. It's quite simple to just change it when you're on the ladder. You simply just hit the P key. That puts you into program mode. Hit the T, because that's the tool that you want to change. Go down, down, change the 3 to 1, push T, and there you go. You're all set at 1 tick. So I just wanted to do some demos on how fast it is and getting matched. So I've gone in there at, I'll try and make this a bit smaller for you. If I do a new share, change that to BetJet, And then I should be able to make that window a bit smaller for you. Should make everything a little bit bigger. There we go. So going in here at 8.6, and you see it's straight in there on the other side, 8.8. Going again at 8.4. And you've got 3 bets sitting here waiting to get matched. We're going once more at 8. A lot of backing coming for this 4 dog here. Bit of a drift on the 1. Make that a little bit bigger for me. There we go. So you watch this. As soon as it gets matched over here, it pops in on this side. There we go. The problem with greyhound markets, though, is if you do what I've just done, you see all this money that's getting matched up on the opposite side. Well, most of it's mine, but it gives the false impression that the dog is getting backed, and that can sort of cause problems. You don't want to put too much money into the market at one time, because otherwise you can get in the situation here that people see, 27, 28, 26, 42, they all start jumping in front of it. But they're starting to back this 1 dog. I'll make it a bit wider so I can see the others as well. There we go. But yeah, that's just sort of how the tick offset works. We'll go and see if we jump out of this. 13 seconds to go. So go and cancel those others. I can cancel them just by hitting C. See if it comes up. No, I'm just going to jump out of that if we can. There we go. And we could go down 1 and make sure we get out of it. So there we go. There. So yeah, that's going to start in a sec. I should go and get the video up so I can see when they are going to start. They're going to start now. So they have started. So we'll go and do another one where I've got a bit more time. 12:39, 12:51. So we'll just get, that's too much time, 11 minutes. There's 22 pounds match there. But where's the next? 12:39. So 12:43. We could also go and look at some Australian stuff as well. So some of the things you've got, you see that they're in box order here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If you wanted them in betting order, you can just go and hit the Q key, and that puts them in betting order. So now they're in 5, 4, 3, 6, 2, 1, and that works on the grid as well. Obviously, there they are. 5. If you want the favourites at the top. We'll go and do the same thing here with the tick offset. Got a bit more time in this one. So there we go. 1 tick. We'll go the other way this time. We'll back first. And what you can do, you can either do 1 at a time, or you can go and sort of queue them up. That's the great thing about having software, is you can just get bets in with 1 click straight away, nice and easy. And every one of those, if the market went against me, if it started going up, as they're getting matched, they're putting in lay bets anyway. So now it looks like there's a whole lot of money there to back the dog, and I can just keep jumping in on this side, and then as it goes back down, we'll get matched over there. So you can sort of do what you want. I'll show you about moving bets and cancelling bets. If I wanted to just cancel everything, all I've got to do is just push the C key. There's a few ways to cancel, so I've done that there. Or if you've got a load of bets in like this, you could just go and, say you also had some lays in over here that you did want matched and you only want to cancel the back bets, just go up to the top of the ladder, click them all at once. Or if you wanted to just cancel a few of them, you can just go and just click them again and they cancel nice and easily like that. If you wanted to move it, so say I wanted to move this 4.6, I just go and right click. Say I wanted to move it to 4.4, so I just right click it, move it there, gets matched, offsets at 4.3. And if I wanted to move this one down, you just go to where you want to move it to. So I want to move it to 4.6, just right click. So you just right click and move it wherever you want. Now, if you got more than 1 bet in, it'll just move the nearest one. So if I go and wanted to move this one here, it would just do that. And then if I wanted to move this one, I could do that and cancel them, etc. On the lay side, same thing, cancel everything. I mean, even if I've got bets all over the place, if you've got the caps lock on, so I'll just go and put bets in anywhere here. say you got like 10 seconds to the race and you wanted to get out and you think, right, I've had enough. As long as the caps lock's on, you can cancel everything. If the caps lock's off, so I'll turn it off for a minute and I just go to this end dog here and I push C, everything on him cancels, but everything else stays there. If you got the caps lock on, it does the whole lot. So with the caps lock on, if I push C, everything can get cancelled there. All right, so that's a little bit about the tick offset. Nice and easy. So we'll jump out of that one. That one went against me. Get the graphs up again, see what's going on. Not much there. Big drift on this outsider. Well, it doesn't take a lot to move a dog market though, does it really? So we'll go and do a couple on the grid. And then once you sort of know what I'm doing, we'll show you some of the other stuff. I'll show you the other tools on this 1246. So on this one, I'll show you the fill or kill. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just push F, and that gives me 5 seconds. So what happens now, if I go and place a bet, and I'll do one well out of the way so you can see, if I go back at 5.4, and if that's not matched in 5 seconds, it will just automatically cancel. It's pretty good in running, so that if you're doing an in-running horse race and you don't want your bet to stay there, because what can happen in a horse race, you can go and lay it, say 8, and you miss it. The price drop goes up, 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 and it goes off the screen like that, and you think, oh, I've missed it. What can happen is the horse comes back and you've forgotten about the bet that you've got. And as the horse comes back, often storming home to win, you can get your bet match. So having the fill or kill on can be quite smart, because if you put a bet on here and it flies up and goes off the screen, the software will automatically get rid of it for you. All right, so go and jump in here and see if we can get this matched at 10. Now, we'll go in on the other side there. Now, if you click the hedge button, it doesn't like fill or kill. So it knows it's a hedge figure. So I'll show you that one. I'll get this matched if I can. Or I'll get, right, no, it cancelled. So we'll go in again, because I just want to show you so you're not worried that your bet's going to get cancelled. That one's gone. I'll just go at, I'll try once. We'll go at 10.5. See if we get one matched at 10.5. So no, that's cancelled as well. We'll try one more at 11. Right, so you see I'm matched. If I went up here at 326, that's a hedge bet. So the fill or kill knows not to cancel that in 5 seconds. It knows that it's a hedge bet. If I did go and put the bet in at 15.5 in the blue column, then it doesn't know it's a hedge bet and it will cancel in 5 seconds. So you'd have to make sure. We'll go in there and we'll get out of that because it's only got 40 seconds to go. So that's the fill or kill. The stop loss is the same thing. If I go and put the stop loss on, if I go and do a lay, say at 11, you see the stop loss goes in there at 9.4. So if that gets matched, then if it came down to 9.4, the software would, well, I can't guarantee it'll get you out, but it will place the bet. What can happen, the reason stop losses, particularly in running, are not that great is if I did a lay at 11 and the offset, like the stop loss went in at 9.4, this horse could just plummet to 7 if another horse fell. And what that would mean is my bet would be submitted at 9.8 or wherever my stop loss was, but it wouldn't be matched. So I always think that you probably should try and work manually on it if possible. I always try and trade in and out of things manually. So we'll go to the next one. These dog races come thick and fast, don't they? 1246. Let's go and have a look at 1251. We got a good handicap 4.5 minutes here, so I can show you the other tools. The stop entry tool you wouldn't use in a greyhound race. It's an in-running tool. Basically what the stop entry tool does is it says, let's pretend this is an in-running horse race and you wanted to use it on the 6, which is the 2.3 favourite. What I could say is if this horse trades above 10, then I want to lay it at, say, 11.5. What you're trying to do with the stop entry tool is catch the drift as it happens. And by using that tool, the software will catch it far quicker than you'll be able to see it or react to it. So the instant, if I did that bet, like, you know, lay this one at 10 or at 11.5, if it reaches 10, the millisecond any money's matched on this runner at 10, my bet will fire in. And, of course, the stream moves too fast for you to see that manually, so you're better off doing a tool. So what I'd be trying to do if this was a 5-4 favourite on the horses is what I'm effectively saying is if this horse looks to be beaten and it starts flying out, I want to catch it on the way out. So what this tool does in BetJetPro, it effectively puts you right on the shoulder of the guys with the drones or the GPS or at the track, because what the software will do is react instantly to what they're doing. So if we're watching a race on TV at home, we're not going to see as quickly as them that this horse is starting to falter and the price starts flying out. But as soon as they start laying it at the track, then the software is going to detect that, and the millisecond that this thing trades at 10, then it will fire in the bet. And you can put the bet in where you want. I could put the bet in at 10 or at 10.5 or 11.5. I like to give myself a little gap. So if I did that trade, what I would do is say, pretending again this is a horse, if this horse trades at 10, lay me £10 at 12.5. And the beauty is, even if you go in higher, you still get the best price. So let me demonstrate. You see, I want to go and lay this horse, and let's say as soon as it trades 250, I tell it to go and lay at 5, right? It doesn't, well, I'll do it so you can see it. Let's say I tell it to lay at 3. So it's just traded 250. So if I just go bang, it puts the bet in with best execution at 250 anyway. So there's no problem at all with going in a lot higher. So even if I went in at, we'll go in at, say, 30, go and lay it at 30 right now, I've still been given a price of, see where my zeros are, 2.56. So Betfair gives you best execution. Now, if people want to see match bets and unmatched bets, you can just push M, and there they are there, or you can see unmatched by pushing U. Everything's written there for you. See, unmatched has got the U underlined, matched has got the M. If you want the win meter, the W's underlined, so just hit the W, or you can have G for graph. Now, if you want different things on different ladders, that's cool as well. Just turn off the caps lock, and then you can go and have match bets on this one. We could have the win meter on this one. I've just hit the Q key by mistake. So I went to hit the W and flick the Q. So now I've quick sorted them. And then I could have the graph here, and on this one I could have unmatched bets if I wanted. So you can have anything you want, or you can just make them all the same again by hitting the caps lock and say hitting W and then W, and they're all, it's real simple to use. Everything's basically written for you. It's all, you don't need to remember the shortcuts. It's all underlined. So see the tick offset, the T's underlined, stop loss is the S, fill or kill is the F. So just look at the tool you want and it gives you the shortcut. So if I want the F, bang, fill or kill's on. Stop loss, oh, that's S. I'll go and hit that. Bang. Tick offset, oh, that's the T key. Oh, I want my match bets. What's that? Oh, I'll hit M. So everything's there for you. You don't need to have memory of all of these tools and everything. Anyway, that race is about to start. So we'll go and move on to the next. We're nearly done. So I've nearly showed you everything there is to show you. I think that's pretty well it for the ladder. I mean, it's pretty basic. I'll just show you what everything is. There's a what if figure. See figures flashing around at the top. So what you've got is if you hover in any cell, it gives you a what if, which basically means what happens if I click this cell. So if I click this 4.2, you can see I'm going to have a liability of £32.64 on Alley Cat. And in the middle of every other runner, you see the profit of £10.20. Okay. Now, if I wanted to back the horse or the dog, I move it over and you can see now, if I back it 4.2, my profit's going to be $32.64 and my liability on all the others will be 10. Now, speaking of liability, before we go to the grid, if you like betting in liability, let's say you wanted to go and lay this horse at 22, this 4-dog. You think, oh, it's a big price. You don't want to lay it for 10. What you can do is just go and click the S button, changes to liability, and if I go and lay it at 20, you see it just submits a bet for 54p. So when you're on liability mode, the most you can lose is the amount that you've got selected. Okay, and it'll be different for every runner. So if I go and did it on this one at 9, the bet is £1.27. If I did it on this one at 3.4, the bet is £4.25. If I did it at 7, it's £1.70. And if I did it at 4 on this one, it's £3.40. And I can just go and cancel all of them with one push. All right, liability mode, remember, if you're backing, will always be the same. So it doesn't matter. If I back it at 70, it'll be £10.20. 50, £10.20. 40, £10.20. Because liability only means the amount you can lose. And obviously, if you're backing, whatever amount you back for is the most you can lose. Liability only really comes into play on the lay side because every price you're risking more and more money. Obviously down here at 2, if I go and lay it for 10, I'm only going to risk 10. And if I did it at 150, I'm going to make more than the 10 if it was beat. So if I go to 150, it will place a lay of £20.40. So the lower you go, the more it bets, but every risk is only going to be £10. All right, so I'll do one more, look at the grid, and then I'll go and do some trades for you. So we'll go to Swindon over here and show you the grid. There's a couple of ways you can bet on the grid. There's a quick way and a slow way. The slow way is just click on a box and the back bet opens up and you can change the price or you can go and change the stake, 8, 9, 10, or the price is what I'm changing here. So it's £10.20 at the price. So if I wanted to back this thing at, 8.4. So I'd put in the 8 and then just type in the 0.4. And then I'd submit the bet and it would go in the queue at 8.4. You can pick a price if you want to get in lower. I'll explain why you would do that in a sec. Or you can just abort. Same with the lay side. Click on the lay. Got your stake there. Got your price there. You can change. Now, the reason that you'd put in a different amount is if you had a bigger bet. So if I go and have a look at how much money there is to lay, see there's only £6, £12, or there's 2, 3 and 4. If I wanted to lay this thing for 100, I'm not going to get matched by just going like that and betting for £100. I'm just going to sit in the queue. So what I would do is I would pick a higher price. If I picked 11, let's say I picked 11 on that horse and submitted, any money below 11, I will get matched on. Okay? So that's a little bit about manually sort of trading. You can change your stake buttons. And again, liability, you just click the S up there. Now, if you want liability on all the time, you can just set that up in settings. You've got a default stake type, use stake or use liability. So if you only want to use liability, you can just have that and you don't need to change it at all. And the other way is a quick way here, just turn on the one-click betting. So now if I go and click any of these boxes, I'm going to, if I click that 8.8, I will back the horse or dog at 9.4 now, or I can lay it. Or I can right-click. If I go and right-click up here at 10.5, then I'm putting in, I'm actually adding to the lay queue. And if I go and put in a right-click here, I'll go and get unmatched bets up so you can see. Unmatched there. I'm going to go and right-click at 8.4, and that puts in a lay bet at 8.6 I got. So I'm now in the queue. So if you don't want to lay at the exact price, you want to get in a bit lower, just right-click. So if I wanted to back this horse at 10.5, I just right-click on him, and there's the back bet gone in. And I can cancel them by either clicking the X or just hitting the C. All right, so let's go and have a look at actually doing some bets. I'll give this race a miss because it's about to start. We'll see if we can get one done over here. I'll do a quick sort. see what the favourite is. Have a quick look at the graphs. Not much happening there, is there, for Swindon? Market's pretty solid. Again, the win meter is just an in-running tool, so you won't need that pre-race. No need to look at it. Just keep the graphs up. We might go and get one in here. 9.6. Jump in there at 9.8. 16 seconds to go. Bit of a drift on this favourite now, the 6. Bit of backing for this 4 coming late. Don't think it's going to come back up. Oh, suspended. Let's go and see if we won. I was just drinking a mouthful of tea and it jumped. So I'll bring that. What is it? The 4. So we don't want the 4 to win. I'll go and do a share so you can see it. There we go. And change it so you can hear it.
Here we go. And they're off racing, Swindon. Good break by all here. 6 it is. More Lark, who goes into an immediate lead. 2's following. Katie Dove in second, followed then by the 3 Comfy Echo.
So he's back to last. We're going to be fine. 6 or 2 is going to be winning that. But yeah, you got to be a bit careful with the dogs. They tend to jump pretty well straight on time. So if you do run the clock down and don't notice, you can get caught out. So at least that had a happy outcome there. But as you see, I just had a mouthful of tea, went to get out, and they jumped virtually right on time. So not always the best. So I'll go and change that back so it looks a bit bigger for you. And we'll go and do some trades. So 1 o'clock. In 15 minutes, we'll have some horses. That'll be a bit better. I mean, we'll go and look at a horse now. We'll go and trade the 15 minutes before the race. Let's go and see where the first race is. Newton Abbott. See how much money's it. Oh, it's a 3-horse race. That's not going to be much good, is it? But we'll come back to it. We'll go back to the dogs. Just a very, very quick look around the menu as well. You'll see there's 3 of them here with 24 on it. Horse racing, greyhounds, and the football. Okay, so the football is just what's happening in the next 24 hours. So if you know which game that you want to trade, it's far easier to find. So you look at, say you wanted to get to Real Madrid, Man United tonight. It's alphabetical. We did it like that rather than time-wise because there can be hundreds of games on at 3 o'clock and you can't find them. So you just scroll down to R and you'll find Real Madrid, Man City. There it is. Just click it. Everything drops down. Click match odds. Bang. There it is. Nice and simple. And then if you want, you can go and open up over under 2.5 next to it. And you could open up, say, first half goals. And then they're all there. Now, in a future version of BetJetPro, you will be able to unhook the tabs like you can in Google Chrome. We just didn't get time to put that in at the moment. So you've just at the moment still got a toggle between the two. But you can see we've put it in there. The arrow will be to detach the tab. So if you've got a decent sized screen, you will be able to detach these and have as many tabs as you want open. All right. So if we go and have a look at some greyhounds, but that's the football. What I was saying is it's all alphabetical. The 24 for the dogs is just in time order, and 24 hours for the horse racing is in time order. Now, let's say after an hour or so, you get down here and you start to get to the bottom. You can just go and double click and it refreshes the menu and puts it right back at the top. So you see the 1:15 is the next race. Ballarat is running in Australia currently. So that one's in running at the moment. You can see there's no money in running in Australian trots. There's only 15,000 and the race has just kicked off. So we'll forget that. But yeah, it just refreshes the menu. Then you've got the tennis menu. So you can go and see all the tennis there, all the cricket. So you've got the IPL coming on this afternoon. And then you go and find today's date, which is 4th of May. Royal Challengers versus, I don't know who they're playing today. It didn't fit on the menu. We'll go and find the match odds, which is down here. And there you go. Chennai Super Kings. So there's your IPL starting in a couple of hours. So it's all easy to navigate. Then you got darts down there. And then underneath, if you wanted other racing, you just go racing. You go to Australia. You can see what's going on there for the next few days. You can go to Greyhounds and you can pick any track that you like. You can go RP TV and see all different menus, darts. And then if you want everything, just click the one at the end. That's everything that's currently available on Betfair. But the menu's pretty simple. Right, so we'll go back to the dogs and we'll go to the 106 at Nottingham. And we'll go and have a look. On the grid, finally, you can just, if you want the graph up, just click G on any horse. And if you want the unmatched and matched bets, you can have them up. And then once they're up, you can move them where you like. Just drag and drop them, and they'll stay there for the rest of the day. So once I set these guys here, they will just stay there for me. And then if you wanted to look at a different dog, you've only got to click one of the three. You can choose either matched, unmatched, or graph. It doesn't matter. They'll all change. So if I go and hit G on the second dog, they all change. So I can just go and check the graphs out. I just find it easier to look on the ladder. You can just see all six at once. But there you go. So we'll nip over to the ladder, have a look, get the graphs up there. Have a look how much money's matched. 500 on the 1, 375 on the 2, just 90 quid. Not a lot of money here. 2 minutes to go. It's virtually nothing. We'll go and see what we think's going to happen. Looks like this 3 dog they don't like. He's drifting up. He's coming right back down. Quite volatile, this one. Jump in there. Going at 8.6. Big bet's just gone in there. You might be seeing some numbers with brackets, so I'll explain them. I'll make it a bit smaller so you can see them. What the brackets mean is it shows you how much was matched at the price. And if the brackets are on both sides, it indicates that all the money was taken on that dog. So see, if we go and find a very, I'll show you after this, a very slow moving market. I'll do it on that horse race quickly. If I go over here, see there, £20 matched and there's 29 left. So the last bet was a £20 bet at 55 and there's 29 left. There's £1 taken out of 16 left. That's what the brackets are, okay? If you wanted to know. So they're starting to really back this dog. So I'm going to go and get out of him and we'll go and find one to lay. So really coming for this, the money's coming for this 4 dog. Have a look at him go. I'm going to go and get on this one over here. And 26 seconds to go. So I'll go and quickly do another share so you can see the race. There we go. I'll get the race up in a minute. I'm going to go and jump out of this one because they're backing him. So I'm getting out of the 3, laid the 4. The video's not there yet, so we got a bit of time. I'll drag it. Here we go. So interested to see if this 3 wins with all the money coming on it. Remember, you've got the chat box. You got any questions? If there's anything you want to see or know about, just ask in the chat and I'll demonstrate it. You know, how do I do this? How do I do that? Whatever. So all the money was coming for this 3. Let's see if the market was right or if, as usual, with punters, they don't really know. He's come out and smashed the 4.
Lovely beginning 5. Harwell Panda takes a slender lead.
The market was right on laying the 4 anyway, and he's been wiped out the 3. Absolute carnage at the first turn. The 4 has just kicked the 3 right out of play, and looks like the 6 and 1 are going to fight this out. 4's nowhere to be seen. But that was, that's why we call it the Dish Liquor Derby. Well, that'll be a void race because the 3 dog came across the infield and jumped the fence. You couldn't make it up, could you? So that'll be void. So we're not going to get the win there, Lee. So the answer is no, you didn't win. Absolute chaos on the donkeys. So the 3 dog has carnaged at the first turn. See them all running up the back. He's jumped the fence, come across the infield, and then tried to shortcut. That was just too funny. I'm glad we've recorded that, so we'll be able to watch that back. But you don't seem to have any questions. So if you don't have any questions, there's not much I can say. Yeah, I can show you that, Dan. That's a great question. Fantastic. So let's go and have a look at that. We'll go to this race at Wentworth Park. So let's say you're trading a horse race. What you might do is, in a jumps race, you might have your tick offset set to 3 ticks, which is what I do. So you're in running, you're going in, like if I just did one here. So I'm in at 296. I'll go in at 3 and it'll offset. You can see where it's going to offset here, 3 ticks higher, right? So what Dan's question is a lot of the traders now in sprint racing, the 5, 6, 7 furlongs, they use what's called a 200% offset. So in your settings, you can have 200% and you can use ticks or use percent. So if you don't have to change it in here each race. It's really simple to do. So let's say I now want it, this is a sprint race and I want to change it to percentage. Really easy. Get your caps lock on. Most people will have caps lock on all the time anyway when trading with BetJet. It's just easier to have the caps lock on. You just go and push P for program, T for tick offset, and then left or right arrow, and it changes it to your percentage. Whatever you've got your percentage set at, it's there. And then you push P to come out of program mode, and bang, you're now at 200%. So I'll go and do that at full speed for you and show you how quick it can be once you know what you're doing. So it's just simply P, T, arrow, P, done. All right, should take around 2 seconds to change it. So I'll go and change it back. P, T, arrow, P, done. That's how easy it is, Dan. That's the tick offset percentage or hedge. Now, if you're going to use a whole day of sprint racing, I would just go into settings and just change it in here to use percent and then save it. And then every race you do from now on is going to just put that 200% straight up rather than the 3 ticks. Okay? Is that nice and easy, Dan? Do you get that? Or do you want me to go through it again? Oh, it's suspended. Forget that. We'll go to the next one. Well, we've got 5 minutes for this race, so we'll do it on here. So simply P, T, 200%, and then P to come back out of program mode, and then T to turn it on. All right, nice and easy. Yep, I'll do the 115 in play so you can see the grid in action. But I don't think you're going to see very much because it's a 2-mile jumps race. You might be better off seeing it in a different race. I think we're better off doing the 115 on the ladder so I can demonstrate the tick offset. And then I'll see if there's a race. Where's the next race after that? 205 Chester. Oh, 130 at Chester we've got. So there we go. We'll do the 130 at Chester and we'll do that one on the grid to wrap it up because that'll be a much better race to show you on the grid. So I'll do the first one on the ladder. So Dags has asked a question, can you do it just for one horse? Of course you can. Just turn your tick offset off. And let's say I only want to tick offset this second horse at 3. So I just hover on him. Now I've got my caps lock off and I go program mode, T, change him to 3% and then P. And then there you go. The other two stay at 200%. He's now at 3%. So you can do them all or do one. The basic rule is if you want to do them all, just have your caps lock on. Caps lock just does everything. So P, T, and then change them all, right? Or just turn your caps lock off and just change the one. Okay, so if I go back in now and go T for that, it just changes that middle one. Yep. And if I wanted to change it to just 1 tick and leave the others at 3, then I can. So now he's at 1 and the others are at 3. All right, so you've tried that, Dan. Works fine. Good stuff. Okay, so we'll go and get this race up and I'll do a new screen share for you. This is a really, really terrible race to trade and one I'd probably say don't worry about. because it's a 2-horse race. The other one's just sitting there for prize money. So what I'm going to do is, rather than use the 3-tick offset here, I'm going to just change it to 1 because the market's going to be really tight. So we'll just go P and T, and then let's go and change these to... oh, that's going the wrong way. So P, T... Oh, I better go and turn my caps lock on, hadn't I? PT, and then down to 1. I seem to be stuck on the 1 horse here. I've turned it off again. Jeez, I'm hopeless. Right, now I've definitely got it. Caps lock's on. PT. Bring them all down to 1. So they're on 1 tick. I do this when I've got a very, very small field, because the problem you've got with a 2-horse race is, well, there's a few of them, but the main ones are every trader on the market is going to be on those 2 horses. So you don't have them spread out evenly over the whole field. So there's not going to be the gaps that you'd normally get on a normal jumps race, like you've seen in my other videos. There's all the money here is going to be on these 2. So what I do is I come down to 1 tick. But what you might do is, if you're normally doing trades for £10 on a 3-tick offset, you might change it to £25 with a 1-tick offset, because that's virtually the same as doing 2.5 ticks on a £10 one. So that's what I'll do. And again, I can go and change the stakes on all of them here. And if you wanted to just change the stakes on one of them, you just simply go up. I'll open this up a bit so you can see up the top, and just go stakes. Turn that off, and now only the one I'm on will change. So if I wanted to do this one for £100 and this one for just 25, or it might actually be the other way around because he's the 140 shot, so I'll do him for 100 and him for £25, then you can. So I could go in here at 100 on this guy with a 1-tick offset, and I can do this guy at 25. But if you want them all to change at the same, you just have this on. Same with the stake type. If I change the S to an L, they all change. If I only want to change one, I can turn off the stake type and just change the middle one. All right. Yes, Keith, it's been recorded. You can see it later. All right, so we'll go and just see how this one goes in running, and then we'll do the 130 race on the grid so you can see that in action. So we'll go and have a quick look. Not that the graph's going to tell us anything, is it? Bit of backing for this favourite. Bit of a drift for the second favourite. And the third one, he's just hoping the other 2 fall over so he gets paid. So flags are raised. We'll go and do some 1 ticks. We don't really need the race meter here.
Good afternoon, Robert.
It's not going to do a lot for us. But now any hedge bets are automatically kept in play. So that bet will stay there when the race goes in play. You can check that by looking at your unmatched bets if the pin is up. If it's down, it's just been taken. If it's down, then if I wanted to keep this bet in play, say I put this here, I can just click the pin and point it upwards and the bet will stay there. So it's gone in running and there's my bet. Okay, so there we go. We'll go and do some 1 ticks and you can see the speed of it. We'll go in here on this one and you can see how it works. So the one I'm on here in the middle is the purple fella here. And he's jumped a lot nicer than the favourite. But look, there is quite a bit of volatility there, which is good. Happy with that. So going there at 218. This favourite's not jumping very well at all, so I might just move over to him. Get a few in. Big bet there at 212. And they keep jumping in front of me here. So if this guy's going to keep coming down, then the other one's going to keep going up, obviously. That third thing, have a look at it. He's beaten already. So I could have actually done 3 ticks on this. It would have worked out fine, but it's just more about showing you the speed of it here. Just have a look at how quick they're going in, how quickly they're getting matched. It is quite volatile for a 2-horse race, absolutely, when nothing's happening. I mean, have a look at them. They're still next to each other where they were the whole time. So I'm going to go and trade out of this guy and then go and work on this other fella over here. Got a circuit to go. You can put in one at a time like I've done here, or you can go and put in more. Look at the volatility on this thing. It's unbelievable on a 3-horse race. Now, the danger of this race, right, it's quite really dangerous doing these, so don't go too big. You don't want to be putting big liability, because if this favourite falls, so we'll go and get out of him up here. Now, if you don't want to chase the price, I can just go and push H. Look, if I push the H key, it just gets me out. Or put in the bet there at 182. I didn't get it, so I'll go again. And now it's put in bets down here. We'll go in again. 1.4. And we're all out at the moment. So now I would turn my tick offset off. You can see we've got £7, £8 and £8. What I would do now is turn the tick offset off and look for one trade on the one I think that's beat, which I think is going to be this one on the inside at the moment. What I'm going to do here is just use the L key. So I don't need to find a box. I can just click my L key and click it like that. The bet's gone in at 11. And, or did it? No, it didn't. Don't know why, but I'll just do it manually. Go in there at 4. And it looks like I've missed it because he's gone out to 25.19, so cancel that. So if something doesn't work, I'll show you what to do. He's going to be home, that guy. So, yep. So what you've got here, this is important for you to look at. So I want to know if my L key fired then or if it didn't. So if it was a keyboard error or a software error. So if I go and have a look, see this green box next to the word suspended, right? You've got everything over here called the Book of Truth. And you can see, so it didn't work. So something was going wrong here, and it's tried to lay 0 at 11. So I don't know what's happened. But Betfair, the API's come back with lay 0 at 11. And reason given, bet size is invalid for your currency. So the keyboard worked and the software worked, but Betfair, it tried to lay it for 0 at 11 for some reason. You can see I've laid 25 at 4 when I did it manually, but I just missed the bet because the horse took off too quick. So you can always go and have a look at that. Now, if you've ever got a problem with BetJet that you want me to look at, take a screenshot of this before you close it, because like the software, not close it like that. If you close the software now, all of this is gone. It only keeps a record for the session that you're in. Now, I can let you know how stable BetJet is because it'll tell you how many bets I've made. So I've currently just laid BJP 2,679. So this has been working for nearly 2,700 bets, and it'll also tell you when I last opened it by going right to the bottom. Right to the bottom. Blimey. When I was testing it, I have had it open for a month and had 10,000 bets, but I opened this on, looks like 27th of the 4th. So 27th of April, I opened it, and all this here is every subscription you've ever had to Betfair. So each time you open it, you get a new provisioning subscription. So that's, you'll see all them listed there. And then your most recent one is at the top there, stream connection. And then there's my first bet. All right, so that's just called the Book of Truth. And if you ever want us to look at anything, any questions, you've got to go and get that for me. But you can see every bet that I've ever done is all there, and you can go and check. Basically, there's a rule. If it's not in here, it didn't happen. So you can't say, oh, Betfair, you failed to take my bet, because this just records the response from Betfair. So that lay bet 25, that means the bet did go in. All right, so let's go and have a look at this 130 race on the grid. So we only ended up making £7 on that one, but that's pretty good for a 2-horse race. Those of you that know in live racing club, if we can try and get £5 to £10 out of a 2-horse race, we're pretty happy. Right, so I'm going to trade this one on the grid, show you how the race meter works. We'll go and do some scalping first, see if we can make a bit of money. So what I'm looking for at scalping is I'm looking for where there's less money at a price than what's below it. So somewhere like here, where I can get in there and there, because the 150 is lower than the 232 and the 85 is lower than the 250. So I'm just looking for nice little gaps in between. And I might go and get in once more there. I've clicked that twice, cancel that. Go in there, and got 4 minutes to the start here. So this is just what's called scalping, where you're backing and laying the horse one tick apart, and you can either do it manually or you can just click the hedge key. So I'll do these ones manually, and then I'll do one over here with the hedge. So if I get in there at 7.6, I'll wait for that to get matched, and then I'll show you that with the hedge figure. Hedge figures are all these green ones here. Okay, what I've done is manually put in a £100 lay and a £100 back over here. So I've got one more to put in when this is matched at 7.8. But that tick offset tool, why it's so great in running, it effectively does 3 bets with one click of a button. You basically just lay, and the software will offset the back bet and hedge it for you. So you see here, if I just go and click this 1.25, that's how much profit I'd make on that horse, or 291 or 521. I'll just go in for the 64p and see it calculates I need to bet 24.36. And if that's matched, then that profit's equalised across all runners. I'll make that 25p on every runner. If you do what I'm doing manually on this second horse, I'm laying for 100 and backing for 100. What that means is all the profit will remain on that horse and 0 on the other. So I'll do that first, and then I'll show you how to hedge it. So scalping is what's known as trying to jump in front of a moving steamroller and pick up 10p pieces and jump back out before getting hit. You use big money to make little bets. So I'll get another one in over here, if we can. And you see that's gone right against us here. It's turning around, and you see it's starting to come back up now. Here it comes. We can get the graph up. It's on the drift. They're backing this favourite quite heavily here. I'll go and get this video up so I can see when they're about to start. They're not even close. They're still jogging down to the start. So I'll go and drag that over so you can see it anyway. So still backing this favourite. It's hitting this barrier here now of even money. Will it break through? If it does break through, this horse is going to fly up. So I'm getting matched here now at 7.8. I just hope I can get both of these matched so I can show you. Now here comes the battle. If this crashes through, everything else will go up. If it bounces back up, everything else will come down. I want to get another one matched in here. And a couple more, and then I'll show you what I was talking about regarding all the profit being on one horse. As long as you've got a figure here, there's something for you to hedge. If it's all hedged up and done, like this horse here, there's nothing to see. So now there is. Yeah. So I click the 125, and once that's all matched up and there's nothing more to be done, this column will disappear, telling you that there's no further hedge opportunities like that. So how many more have we got? Another 80 pounds. And then what I'm going to do in running is I'm going to set the 200% tick offset. So I'm just going to go and get out of this. And I'll just hedge it all up evenly. So there we go. We've done, we got £5 on each one. So I'm going to go and change the tick offset. It's already set to 200. So I want to turn it on. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to click one button. And what's going to happen is whichever horse I choose, the software is going to lay the horse at 11. Now, I might get a better price, but I'm guaranteed to not get a worse one. And it will automatically offset the bet 200% higher and hedge it for me. So I've only got to click one thing and I should be able to get a trade done. No, Mo, there's no other chart types available. It's just the Betfair graph, because most of the people that use it are in running traders and we don't use graphs. Right, here we go. Favourite is coming out of 2 in the green. There he goes. That's the grey horse. So we're going to keep him on side. We're going to look to lay 5 or 3. Be careful if you're trading because the 3's green also. But I've got my finger on the Q key to resort these because see, this bottom horse is going all right. The 5 looks like it's in a bit of trouble early, which is in the one at the back. The favourite's going nicely. They're going very quick up front, so something could come from the back here. We're going to look at this Ocean Cloud that's in 4th. Change of colours in that. He's in the yellow cap. He's going well. Might be this favourite we're going to lay. Watching the race meter. I'm going to lay this favourite. There we go. Bang, I'm in. It's laid it. And now the software will get me out. Bang, I'm out already. Job done. Don't care who wins. Absolutely Flawless is going to win, though. The green one on the far side. Absolutely Flawless. Horse named after the software. So let me show you what just happened. If I go and get the match bets up, you can see there I've laid the horse. I'll go and make this a bit smaller for you so you can see it clearer. All right, there we go. So you can see what it did is it laid the horse at 11 for me for £10, and it backed for £3.67 at 30. And all I had to do was click one button, and it's just so fast. And then we've locked in a profit the minute that was matched, 11.63. We didn't care which horse wins. All right. So look, that's a bit of a look around BetJet for you. If you've got any questions, we've got 2 Telegram support rooms that you can jump in. They're on the website. I'll go and quickly show you where everything is, and we'll go and make this normal size again. So just go to the BetJet website, BetJetPro.com. And if you want to join Telegram, you can come down the bottom. You'll see Telegram. There's a link down there. Click on the Telegram link and it will take you to either of these channels. One of them's chat and one of them's support. So you can join both of them, or you can just drop us an email message there. Okay, now when you first get BetJet user guides, just go to the user guides page, and there's no manual as such because I know people don't really like reading. So we've done a series of 2 and 3 minute videos. Anything you want to see is in here. Okay, so everything's there that you need to know about. And then if you just want to see a little bit more of what you've just seen now, go to the trading videos section. And this is just all about me using it. So I'm looking at the market dropping, the tick offset, the gauges, trading with the gauge, 3 ticks on a ladder, grid laying, which is what we just did, lay the field, all sorts of videos there, drone signals, using the tools in BetJet to see what the drone guys and that are using. Just scalping and laying, stuff like that. So there's loads of videos there. There's Windows and Mac. So whatever you're using, it's built for a Mac. You don't need Parallels or Boot Camp or anything. And that's about it. So look, I'll let you go and get on with your trading for the afternoon. Thank you very much for coming in to join me. Any questions you can get in our horse racing room in Telegram, or just join the support room, or ask us on Twitter, whatever you like. But look, thanks for your time, and I'll talk to you guys soon. All right, enjoy your afternoon. Bye for now.